views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we learn the secrets behind happiness breeding success when we sit down with author Valerie Shepard to discuss her new book, Living Happy to Be Me, Dancing Your Soul Lifestyle. After that, we'll talk to Bronx native artist Annie Legnini, who uses recycled materials to tell the stories and experiences of other Bronx natives with her project Bronx Faces. And then we'll speak with classical pianist Kariné Poghosyan about her upcoming concert, the New York City Connection, taking place at Carnegie Hall. And later on in the show, Bobby C. will bring us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight features entertainer and accordion-playing musician Francesco, who will be giving us a taste of this year's St. Anthony's Festival. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is coming your way, because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us. That's right, online, that is. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV, or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Insta Stories, Snapchat, LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. So, many people in this world are chasing success, along with many other things, to seek happiness. And our first guest has a book with a roadmap of how to go inside and transform life's challenges into an authentic happiness life filled with purpose. And, well, her book, Happy to Be Me, Dancing to Be Me. Wait. Happy to be me. I'm dancing with the words. Happy to be me, dancing your soul lifestyle. She's going to drop by right now to just share some of her wisdom. Please welcome author and personal development expert, university lecturer, Valerie Shepard. OMG, I've got some tongue-twisting style dancing going on with my verbal communication this morning.
Part of Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Rhina.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you for being here all the way from California.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Stopping by to drop some of your nuggets here with our Bronx audience. And congratulations on this, I think, what's this been, a decade in the making?
Yes, it took us several years to write the book, and it came out, and it's been a really fun ride ever since.
So share with us a little bit of what you've learned in, I guess this all developed from the lectures and the workshops that you offer, right?
Right. I mean, I was teaching around what I call personal development and life mastery, self-mastery. And the book idea came from something else entirely. It was going to be a list, 30 ways in 30 days to have more peace, love, joy, and freedom. And when we started writing those 30 ways, it very quickly became way too many to be 30, and so that started the journey toward the book.
So when we speak about authenticity, right, because there's this, I guess, ability to choose what you want to be and just be that. But then there's all this other stuff that's lying there and just kind of like creeps in from time to time. So I know we don't have the entire hour to make that happen.
Darn.
I know, because, you know, I've been looking forward to having this discussion.
Yes.
But I get that in this book, there's a roadmap
Yes.
to kind of sort through it. So as quickly as you can you give us some points?
Yes, so authenticity is definitely critical. The thing is, many people confuse authenticity with what it really is. And so we may think we're being authentic, but what we're being is a conditioned pattern of responses that we learned when we were young. So we have knee-jerk reactions. That's the way we talk about it. So our knee-jerk reactions aren't necessarily the true us. And so this book talks about how you get over those things, move them out of the way, down to the core of who you are, which in the title of the book, the ME stands for Magnificent Essence. So it's really about raising your consciousness, getting to the combined, integrated spiritual you with the human you. And that's where true happiness is always available.
So how does one know what their limitations are?
Well, we can look at the limitations that show up on an everyday basis. So when I am telling myself I'm not good at this, or I can't do that, or I don't know something, that's coming from some conditioning that we've got. And if we were willing to step through that and be like connect to a higher version of ourselves that sees ourselves as magnificent and that we can do anything, the possibilities in life rather than the limitations. So whenever we're thinking in lack and limitation, we're not really in the highest version of ourselves. So if we can catch that, oh, I'm thinking lack right now. I don't have enough money. How could I shift that to what I want instead of what I don't want?
So that takes some serious discipline, right? Especially when you've already been conditioned to be a certain way based on your immediate environment. And so I'm trying to simplify it as possible so that our viewers get
Absolutely.
Yeah, what it is that you're providing here. I mean, this is like gold right here.
Thank you.
Yes, I haven't even read it, and I already know just by the title, "Living Happy to Be Me." I know each one of those words has a significance.
They do. They do. Yes, I picked them one by one for the title for purpose. And living was chosen because it's more than just read a book, get a couple things, snap your fingers, and you're done. It really is about putting this on day in, day out, 24/7, 365. Happy is about something that's inside you. And many of us are conditioned to look for it out there, right? The next experience, the next lover, the next really great dinner. I mean, that's what I did. I was looking for all the external stuff. Success, money, great neighborhood, great car. But that's not really where it is. And the way I found it out, I mean, how many people have those things and still aren't as happy as they want to be? And that's how I figured it out. As a vice president running $1 billion portfolio, I had everything that I thought I needed to be happy, and I wasn't. So I went on a quest to find a deeper connection to happiness that's always there. And now it's there even after having suffered a catastrophic stroke 2 years ago. To be is about being, not doing. We aren't human beings, we're really humans doing. We're constantly running and going, and again, that's a part of filling up our empty cup so that we feel like we're accomplished and we're successful, and out of that, I'll be happy. And it's actually the other way around. We have to be happy first, then we do everything that we do in the energy of happiness, and we create more of that flow in our lives. And then the ME is really important. Magnificent essence. And that goes from, I talk in the book about my personal journey, going from a lowercase me, mighty ego, to a magnificent essence. So that's more about just the being nature. In religious texts, it's called image and likeness. If you're not into religion, it's about seeing yourself as something that the universe put here on purpose, and that you have a reason to be here and you belong here, and bring it, girlfriend. Bring it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm all in there. I'm all in there. Yes. We can do that. Because I'm like, we live in a society where people base happiness on their financial success.
Yes.
Meanwhile, it should be the other way around, because the happiness is going to attract the success.
Hello. Yes, it will.
And you're living deliberately every day.
Yes. You're making choices, like consciously noticing yourself, consciously, oops, I'm in a place that's not serving me. I'm negatively gossiping, or I'm complaining about everything, or I'm talking about what I don't want, like rerunning yesterday's tape of a story, and that's holding you in yesterday's energy instead of being in the present moment, focused on what am I creating right now? What am I creating right now? What am I creating right now?
So before we go,
Yes.
we have to share with everyone what you've created thus far, especially being here in New York and winning this fabulous medal.
I'm so excited about this medal. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it's an International Publishers Gold IPPY for 2018. The book won a gold in the self-help category of the International Publishers Awards. There were 4,500 entries in the whole awards, and that's lots of different categories, so not just in self-help, but it is really exciting to finally get a gold medal. May not be an Olympian, but hey,
You got to
Olympics of publishing or something.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And we're so happy that you found the time to come and stop by and visit
too.
us and be here with
Thank
our
you.
viewers and share this and bring me this amazing book that I'm so looking forward to reading. And where can people buy the book online?
Well, the really exciting news today is that the Kindle version of this is launching. So if you're not into having a hard copy book, you can get the Kindle. You can get them both at Amazon. And the universal link is getbook.at/livinghtbm.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh my!
you.
I wish we had more time. You know I do.
Yes,
You know I
yes,
do.
yes, yes.
You know, but we are so grateful to you for
so
not only being present, but for providing us with something that we can use as a guide to find our better selves, or our higher selves, I should say.
Yes.
Our higher selves.
You got it.
Yeah.
You're
I
right
got
in
it.
there, honey.
I'm in there with you.
You're totally open and in there.
Thank you. Nice
Blessings.
closure. Mwah, blessings to you.
Love you.
You guys, tell me you're feeling this happiness and this joy. And I say joy from the space of being joyfully bliss. Happy to Be Me, Dancing Your Soul Lifestyle. That can be purchased by going to happytobeme.net, right? All right, so also be sure to follow Valerie on Twitter, at Valerie Shepherd, and on Instagram. So on Instagram, it's at happy.to.be.me. And if you have a hard time, just follow me, and then you'll find her as well. All right, I'm really excited about this book, and I hope you guys will take advantage of it being published and available to you. All right, so we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear all about an interesting recycling art exhibition. So don't go anywhere.
So I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions,
Love it.
cross-referencing travel sites, and booking all your flights with those.
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like, aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNetTV, and while you're there, tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So the Bronx is filled with many faces and colors, different people that are working hard, that are talented, and culturally rooted. And they all have different stories and experiences of living in the borough. And so our next guest decided to create recycled art to display their stories along with their faces in her project, Bronx Faces, collaborative community art project. Please welcome Annie Legnini. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're happy to have you. I love what you are doing. I was able to scroll through your entire website. I've not seen your artwork physically because I'm going to assume there's a lot of texture and a lot of other aspects that really the camera's photos don't really capture. However, what I find most fascinating is that you're a Bronx native, and the origins of this project was for you to figure out all the restaurants that are in the Bronx?
Well, not exactly. That's kind of how it started out. So I grew up kind of not feeling super proud to come from the Bronx. And as I got a little older, I got this newfound excessive pride that came with it. And it kind of reached a high point once I graduated Fordham University. And after graduating Fordham with all this excessive Bronx pride, I had to slow down and ask myself, you know, what do you really know about the Bronx outside of your usual neighborhoods that you're from, that you're familiar with? So I went to my friends who grew up in different neighborhoods than me, and I kind of asked them about different restaurants, different food spots that they were interested in, their favorite ones, because I feel like that's a good way to get to know an area.
Especially cultures, right? Because we are
Exactly.
seriously culturally diverse here in this borough.
Yeah, so along with that, so I just started with asking a few of my friends, and then I was like, you know what? I'm asking them about restaurants already. Let me throw in a few other questions so I can have like a more complete idea of this neighborhood. So I also ask, what's your favorite experience growing up in the Bronx? What's your favorite food spot? What is something that you want me to know about your neighborhood? What's something that you want me to know about the Bronx in general? And I just started with my few friends, and then I put the call out online, and then it's just grown to be this big community project. So.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, and your work is really stunning.
Thank you.
It really is. So, are you drawing that from people's photos?
Yes.
So, okay, so you're doing an open call, and I would imagine you get like a massive amount of submissions. So, how do you select? And do you select according to sections of the Bronx, or do you select according to cultures, or do you select according to restaurants?
So basically, anyone that submits to the project, you're in. I don't want to keep anyone from this project. Like, that's the whole point of this project, is to include everyone, and I don't want to erase anyone's story. Like, I want everyone's voice to be present. So if you submit, you're in.
All right, so we have images that we can share with our viewers, and I would like for us to just kind of like give them a little insight of each person, whatever you can. All right, so let's take a look at that. And so when you capture these, okay, so here we're looking at this, we can look at it here.
Cordero.
Cordero. So he's from Throgsneck, obviously. And so did he wear that hat in the photo?
Yeah, so what you do is when you submit to the project, I ask you to send me an email, answer the questions, answer at least 3 of them, so I can either choose one of them or maybe combine a few of them if you have a few really good answers. And I ask you to also give me your name, the year you were born, and your neighborhood to kind of give context to your answer. And then I ask for a picture of you looking the way you look every day, not glamorous, no prom pictures, no wedding pictures, so just a regular selfie, no filter, preferably.
Okay, so let's look at the next one. And so, yeah, I just love the all the dynamics, right? So this looks like it has cut up.
What do you think it has in there?
Wait, I know, I'm trying to look at it. I'm going, wait a minute. It's got, what is that? It looks like cards of some sort.
So every Bronx Face starts off on cardboard, and I start with either acrylic paint, oil paint. Sometimes I'll do just straight up Crayola crayons, but this one is cardboard, acrylic paint, yarn for her hair, super tedious, and those are actually Pokemon cards because I can't throw them out.
Okay, so that's actually yarn?
Yes.
Oh, so it's yarn.
I went through every...
Wow.
Burned my fingers a lot. with hot glue.
Talk about dedication. And
Mike.
Michael.
So Mike is cardboard, oil paint. That's actually a paper towel for his shirt. That's pipe cleaners as like a part of his hat. And the Bronx brand necklace is made out of cardboard and then an old chain that I had.
Nice. And the next one, wow, these are really exciting. Again, like I said, the photographs, they don't really capture.
Yeah.
I mean, they do capture it. They capture the essence of what you're capturing, but the dynamics, the different layers.
Whole different experience in person. This one, I love David's. So David's is an old shirt that I had, watercolor, I believe. His bandana is a paper towel, and then his frames are actually his frames that he gave to me.
Okay.
He said I constantly get new frames, so that was kind of cool, like a little collaboration that I had with him. Like,
Very cool.
And they fit his face, and I freaked out because that was just
On the
perfect.
cardboard
Yeah.
figure of him. Nice. So what size are these?
These are about this big, all of them. Yeah.
Okay, and so here we have
Andreina's.
Andreina's.
So hers is with oil markers, oil-based markers, and I just kind of etched her face in. Those are just cheap lens for her glasses that I popped out of some old glasses. And then her hair is actually Q-tips that I dipped them into the paint, rolled them around in glitter, and then cut them off and just glued them on. So.
You know, it's really, really remarkable what you're doing. Okay, you're giving a voice to the Bronx in such a way that not only are you preserving our earth, right? Well, that's setting an example, right? You're also preserving our history, and with just everyday people. And
it would be nothing without everyone else. Like, this is a collaboration with everyone, and this is about us. So.
It's beautiful, and you still have the open call is still available, right? So, do you want to share those details in case anyone here who's watching right now is interested in being captured by her?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at legnini.art or at Bronx Faces. Bronx Faces may be a little easier. You can find my open call right away. It should be the first post, and I want to cap this project soon, just so I could eventually finish it.
So perhaps we should say a deadline?
Well, no deadline. Take your time with it.
Okay.
Take your time with your portraits. If I need to continue with this project, so be it. I'd love to continue this. So send me an email, reach out to me, come to the show, talk to me in person. So
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for the work that you're doing for us. It's beautiful. I'm touched by it. And you guys, so the Bronx Faces, it's a solo exhibition. That's going to be taking place June 9th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Huntington, for free, the Huntington Library. However, she's still accepting open calls, but I actually encourage you to come see the exhibition because she wants this to be an ongoing project. So the library is located at 9 Westchester, what is going on with me today? 9 Westchester Square, and of course that's in the Bronx. And as I mentioned, Annie is still taking submissions for Bronx Faces. So if you can, send her a picture of yourself along with your name, birth year, the specific Bronx neighborhood you live, and answer the 3 questions provided in the screen to legnini.art@gmail.com. All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll hear all about the New York Connection concert at Carnegie Hall. Don't go anywhere.
And I can't change, even if I try.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love, love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNetTV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. Our next guest is an award-winning Armenian-American pianist who made her orchestra debut at the age of 14 and by the age of 23 made her first debut at Carnegie Hall. She's an award-winning pianist, a world traveler who's graced the stages of the most prestigious halls. And this month, she'll be performing a solo recital inspired by New York entitled The New York Connection at Carnegie Hall. And we have a clip of one of Kariné's astonishing performances. Let's take a look. Such fabulosity. Joining us now to share more about her upcoming concert, please welcome pianist Kariné Poghosyan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, we have you here in studio. And shall we just open up and share with the guests how we were just admiring your dress? Like, oh, beautiful dress. But I hear that's one of the things that stands out about your performance. Of course, it's all about your piano playing, but let's talk, but I hear your fashion makes statements as well. That's what I was told.
It's part of the package, of course.
It's part of, and I also understand that you're very colorful in the way you present, and comical as well sometimes.
Well, I take enormous responsibility in the fact that people came and devoted 2-3 hours of their life to sit there and to listen to incredible music, and it's an experience. It's not just listening. It's an all-encompassing experience. Definitely feel that.
So, at what age did you start playing?
I started very, very young, and formal lessons began around age 7. But the funny thing is, I actually was really terrible at first. I was very lazy, as most kids are. I didn't want to practice. And then around 13, 14, a shift happened, and I just fell in love. And I just couldn't stop practicing. I just would get lost in the world of music. So it was beautiful.
Is that because you never stopped practicing?
Possibly. I think definitely at that age, I think most kids experience a shift, and that definitely was the case for me. Around 13, 14, something just changed, and I found that in music you can tell stories. And that was so inspiring, and I would just get lost in the stories. It was just too interesting to get out of that world.
So how do you create your stories?
I think it has to be incredibly personal. I mean, I always begin with quite a bit of research, and I research the composer and where he or she was in his personal life at the time of the composition of the piece. So that definitely helps and creates a certain context, which of course this program I'm putting together at Carnegie Hall is so perfect because all the composers have lived actually in New York, or at least visited and worked here for a certain amount of time. And I am living here in New York, so I can actually walk down 40 blocks from where I live right now and see the apartment building where Rachmaninoff lived for the past 30 years of his life. It's just so inspiring. But also as far as the story, I think it has to be something very personal that hasn't been created yet, something that's just yours. That's why each artist is so unique.
So, all right, I have two questions. I'm like, I'm all excited. I'm really excited to meet you because I just wonder what that must feel like to grow in your artistic development playing at Carnegie Hall. I mean, you've been playing since you were 23 years old. We're not going to talk about how old you are now. However,
I can say it's okay. I'm 38.
So you've been playing, how many times have you played at Carnegie Hall?
This actually is super exciting. I've played at the small recital hall, Weil Hall, 5 times. But this particular one is my debut at the Zankel Hall, which is much, much bigger space. So it's a very, very exciting experience. Looking forward to it.
Do you know how many artists, how many performers dream of just making it to Carnegie Hall once?
Right. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's a blessing.
It is amazing. So what is it that you think, right? I know it's a little challenging to talk about yourself, right?
Okay.
But we're going to talk about this because you mentioned something about personalizing it and making it your own. So, you know, you don't have to give us your secrets. But what? But you have something. You have something that is like really like, oh my gosh, it just like takes over your whole spirit. I mean, you were my morning music this morning, and I was like, oh, we have to play something for our audience so that they can feel that. What is that?
It's. I think the magic of it is that you cannot describe it. That's the actual magical thing about it. There isn't something you put your finger on and say, oh, that's what she's doing. I really don't know. It's just something that's in me. It's almost bigger than me. It's almost something that has chosen me rather than I have chosen it. And believe me, there are so many moments when I just want to, you know, just be lazy and not do these things and not practice. But it is bigger than just one egotistical personal moment. It takes over, and you have to then commit. And I think it comes down to the fact that music transforms people. And especially in the world we live in today, there is, I feel, such a need for that invigorating transformation where you go into a concert hall and it is not just an escape. It's not just that you put problems away for 2 hours, but it is an actual transformational experience where you leave the concert hall a completely different person. You are re-energized and you're reborn and you feel inspired to tackle these big problems that you were intimidated by before. And I really believe in that, and that's my big why. That's why
That's your big why. Is that how you created or you came up with the title, the New York City Connection? Because we move so fast, right?
Right.
And what you just shared with us is that let's just all come together and just kind of like borrow from each other and contribute to each other is what you just said. And instead of just coming and escaping for that moment, take a piece of this with you.
Right, right. Well, the most incredible thing about New York is that it is such a cosmopolitan city. And I remember my first impression when I first got here, I immediately felt at home. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this city where everyone feels like they belong, no matter what language you speak, what religion you adhere to. And so I think as a musician, that's something I deeply connect to, because in music, you go directly to the person's heart. You're not seeing skin color and, you know, all these dividing outer things that now in this world is in our face all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, but that's why we're here. We're here to counteract it.
That's why music, I think, overcomes that, and yeah, I'm excited to do that next week.
Oh my goodness, we're excited that you're here sharing it with our viewers, and we're so glad you had a moment to come and stop by our studios, and I want to share with everyone where they can see it, right? Because the concert's coming up. And once again, Kariné Poghosyan she's going to be performing at the Zenko Hall at Carnegie Hall on Thursday, June 7th at 7:30 p.m. It's funny because we're talking about a pianist. All of a sudden, my voice changed, right? So for tickets, you can go to carnegiehall.org, or you can call 212-247-7800. Once again, that is Kariné Poghosyan. All right, you guys, we got to take a break, but stay tuned because Bobby C's weekly sports roundup is coming up next.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
We begin our look at sports with some motor racing. Last Sunday was the day in motorsport. F1 kickstarted the Memorial Day holiday with its action in Monte Carlo, where Daniel Ricciardo and his Red Bull team took Monaco. Then it was time for another Australian to make history in the Indianapolis 500. Will Power took the lead with 10 miles to go and held on to win a hot, treacherous 102nd running of the Indianapolis 500, a race in which Danica Patrick concluded her career with a disappointing crash. The victory for Power, the sport's most accomplished road course and street course racer, ended more than a decade of frustration for him at the IMS Oval. Power delivered the 17th Indy 500 victory for team owner Roger Penske. His victory earlier this month here in the Indy Grand Prix was the Story team's 200th in the sport. Power finished 3.5 seconds ahead of top qualifier and hometown standout Ed Carpenter, followed by past 500 winners Scott Dixon, Alexander Rossi, and Ryan Hunter-Ray. We'll have plenty more on the Indy 500 in our upcoming special edition of Sports NYC. As for Danica Patrick, her racing career ended with a devastating crash before the midway point of Sunday's greatest spectacle in racing. She returned to her roots in IndyCar for one more event before retiring from the track, but didn't get to finish the iconic race after her car got loose and spun into the wall. It was Patrick's 8th Indy 500, and she left the Indianapolis Motor Speedway track disappointed. She said afterward that she is at peace with her decision to retire, now looking forward at expanding her personal businesses, which include a clothing line and a wine label and a health and fitness book. Plus, she'll be the first female host of the ESPYs in July. Like Power in the Indy 500, Kyle Busch was unable to contain himself. Later in the evening in the Coke 600, Busch let out an elated scream as his car entered turn 3 of the 400th and final lap of the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. From start to finish, Busch fashioned a dominating victory as the only active Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series track at which he had never won a points event. That makes Busch the only driver in NASCAR history who has won at every Cup track at which he has started a race. NASCAR will be in Pocono this weekend. IndyCar moves on to Detroit for its dual race, and F1 will have the weekend off before the Canadian Grand Prix on June 10th. MotoGP will be in Italy this weekend. Perhaps former Nick J.R. Smith was in Italy last night. Smith's blunder likely cost LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers an upset in Game 1. Smith said he thought the Cavs were going to call a timeout after he corralled an offensive rebound with less than 5 seconds remaining in regulation in their eventual 124-114 overtime loss to the Golden State Warriors in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. That's why Smith said he did not take a potentially game-winning shot with the score tied. Smith's blunder opened the door for the Warriors' bizarre Game 1 win. Golden State survived a wild Game 1 that featured overtime, 51 points from LeBron James, and a mental mistake by Smith. Game 2 is Sunday night in Golden State. Tip-off is 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The NBA Finals got off to a roaring start, and I must admit, I didn't expect that. I figured the Warriors would roll past the Cavs, as even the odds in Vegas seem to indicate that. But you can't count out LeBron James. And in Vegas, you can't count out the hometown Golden Knights. Vegas' expansion team not only reached the Stanley Cup Finals in what has been a movie-like script for the first-year club, but they also won Game 1 of the Finals, 6-4. If not for an amazing save at the end of Game 2, this series might be 2-0 as opposed to 1-1. Washington held on for a 3-2 win Wednesday night. Game 3 is Saturday night. Puck drops at 8 p.m. Eastern. Game 4 is Monday. On the baseball diamond, Jose Quintana pitched 6 shutout innings. Ben Zobrist hit a 2-run homer, and the Chicago Cubs beat the banged-up New York Mets 5-1 on Thursday night in the opener of a 4-game series. Brandon Nimmo has been a bright spot for the Mets. And there's some good news on the captain front as David Wright donned his Mets uniform and played catch in the outfield at Citi Field, his most significant baseball activity since last September when his latest comeback attempt was derailed. Wright, who has undergone 3 surgeries since his last appeared in a major league game in May of 2016, said he was recently told by doctors that he's finished healing and was clear to resume workouts. Last September, Wright underwent surgery for a torn rotator cuff in his right shoulder. A month later, Wright, who is managing spinal stenosis, underwent surgery to alleviate pressure in his back. The opener of a scheduled 4-game series between the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles on Thursday night was postponed by rain. The Bronx Bombers wrapped up May by taking 2 of 3 from the world champion Houston Astros. Despite falling in the opener Monday night, the Pinstripers rallied in the middle game of the series as rookie phenom Gleyber Torres delivered the game-winning hit. New York capped the series in a 5-3 victory Wednesday night behind ace Luis Severino. We go inside the locker room for more, including Tuesday night's ceremonial first pitch with Bronx native and newest New York Giant rookie running back and number 2 draft pick Saquon Barkley.
There's a reason these guys are so good, and you know, I know I've had some success against them in the past, but that you know, every day is a new day, especially going up against a lineup like this. You know, you kind of you don't take anything for granted and just go out there and make your pitches. And thankfully, bullpen did a good job when I came out of the game. We locked it down, and I think that's kind of how you would script a win in the big leagues.
It's an energetic place to pitch, and he had to make pitches against a really good lineup. Nice to spot him a lead and have him settle in, and you know, he pitched without his good slider or his good chase breaking ball. They did a good job of laying off pitches, but he still came up with some really big pitches and a really good outing.
Also, I just prepare before at bat, try to take good at bat, try to hit my best pitch and try to help my team.
He's one of the best pitchers in the game, and I think be ready for the fastball and adjust on everything else. I think that's the way he's pitched against us today with his curveball slider and trying to get us to chase, and only threw like 1 or 2 changeups in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Coming here to Yankee Stadium, you know, the biggest venue in all of baseball, and you know, facing this lineup, and they've been playing well. Yeah, I mean, it's a little more intense is probably the better way to put it.
When they announced me, it was like Bronx native, and I was like, well, yeah, I am born from the Bronx, so it's kind of cool to throw a pitch, and just to throw a pitch for the Yankees was even cooler. Like I said, I wasn't really huge on baseball growing up, but you know who the Yankees are. You know about the 27 World Championships, and you know how special this place is, and it's kind of like the role model and the standard in baseball in the same way I kind of view how the Giants hold themselves, and you know this place, so to be able to come here and be able to throw a pitch, I wish it went a little better, but to throw a pitch for the Yankees and be able to meet the Yankees players is an unbelievable accomplishment, something that I definitely remember for the rest of my life. So when you step out your element, that's when it gets different. I actually was a little nervous. I didn't think I was gonna be nervous because I was in college. I played in front of like 110,000 like on a weekly basis. So, but when it's not football and it's baseball and you got to throw a pitch, and you on my way here, I was watching all the videos of the 50 Cents and all the bad ones, and I was just like, come on, like I do not want to be on ESPN. It's not top 10. But I think it wasn't a great pitch, but I think I saved myself.
Barkley has certainly handled himself well this far. Giants fans can only hope Saquon has the impact on the Giants that Gleyber has had on the Yanks thus far. Let's hit the C-list and talk some Gleyber Torres. say Glaber good, we mean Glaber good. Torres' game-winning hit Tuesday night came on the same day that he was named the American League Player of the Week. The award was no surprise as the 21-year-old last week became the youngest player in AL history to homer 4 games in a row. For the week, he hit .368 with 5 homers and 9 RBIs in 6 games. Through Tuesday's 2-for-5 night, Torres was hitting .321 with 9 homers and 26 RBIs and 2 walk-off hits, counting his game-winning homer that beat Cleveland on May 6th. The boy is clutch, folks. And he has bounce-back qualities. He committed 2 errors in the game and 1 in the first and another in the 7th and still played hero by the time it was all said and done. Since his big league debut on April 22nd, Torres has carried himself with the air of a player who has already been in the majors for years and who intends to stay a while longer. Chime in on social media. Is Glaber good, really this good, or is it just some luck for the rookie? That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Hello and welcome back to Open. You know, always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So our last guest is an entertainer and musician that has always had a passion for music. He's performed on hit shows and has performed for many guest celebrities. And well, he's here to share a little bit about his career and upcoming performance at the St. Anthony's Festival coming up in the Bronx, Little Italy. Please welcome Francesco Live.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a mood. I feel like I should serenade you here.
I'll sit back. I'll take it. Although you're going to perform for us later, right?
Definitely. I have my accordion, the sweet box, whatever you want to call it.
You know, Amore, that's like my middle name, you know, Amore.
That's why I sang the song for you.
Thank you. Yeah, right here. We're right here. We're right here. Listen. You know, I'm so happy to have you here finally in studio, okay? You know, you and I worked together almost like 13 years ago.
Wow, I was a baby.
You were a baby? You were a baby and that accordion was like twice your size, right? Because you had that accordion.
I used to have lots of good time. We still have a good time.
So here's the thing, not too many people play the accordion. So how did you find your relationship to the accordion?
4 years old, my grandfather plays the accordion in Italy. Of course, in southern Italy, he's playing the accordion, and I'm 40 years old. I'm looking at him. Grandpa, can I play? Can I play? Can I play? And that's how we start. So since I was 4 years old, I started to play the accordion because I grew up in Italy, southern Italy, where everybody plays the accordion. And here he goes. I play the accordion. But I don't just play the accordion. I play the piano too.
Right.
But not like the beautiful Kariné.
Kariné.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Can
okay.
I go to Carnegie Hall with her with the squeeze box?
Listen, no, the thing about it is that there's something really unique about that instrument. And so while you say everybody in Italy plays it, not too many people play it here.
No, it's not common, especially from a young person. Usually old-timers, they play the accordion. But it's in every culture, German, Irish, Italian, Polish, everybody plays the accordion. But not young generation. I'm trying to put myself in the young generation.
I know, you're really stuck there. He's like, oh, I was this. It was like 4 years ago. It was a very long time ago. You were not 4 years old when we worked together. Although I would join along the bandwagon. I'd be like, oh yeah, I must have been like, what, 3? So
I was back in the time in the middle of Arthur Avenue, Little Italy in the Bronx, which was the best time of my life.
It was. I mean, well, it still is. I mean, you're going to be there.
We're going to be there from June 13th to the 17th, Wednesday night to Sunday night. We have so many wonderful celebrity coming up. Joe Piscopo from Saturday Night Live. He's going to be there on the Wednesday night. We have Alfio, the Australian-Italian tenor from Australia.
Joe Piscopo just did I think a guest appearance on Law and Order, and he sang. I think he was imitating Frank Sinatra.
Yes, and he's going to do
gonna
all
be doing
Sinatra.
that again?
Yes.
Awesome.
He's going to do Sinatra act. It's going to be fun. So make sure you come. It's Wednesday night. Joe will be there from 6 o'clock on it, and the feast is until 10 p.m., I believe.
That's June
13th.
Wednesday,
night.
June 13th,
Yeah.
right.
And then every night there is, until Sunday, there is wonderful performances by different people.
And yourself?
Myself, Friday night, I'm actually going to be there almost every night, but Friday night I will be there with my band, and I'm not going to play the accordion. I'm going to play the keyboard. And maybe if Mike Knob is going to show up, I'm going to play the accordion.
Okay, well, just for Mike Navi, right?
Yeah.
Got to give him that plug, right? And we're going to go around when the moon.
If you're going to be there, I'm going to come out of the stage and I'm just going to sing to you. And I'm going to volare, oh, cantare, oh, nel blu, dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù con te.
Oh, yeah. That's the closest I've been to Italy. I'll get there.
We're
I'll
in
get
Italy
there.
right now.
I know, you took me there. Thank you, Francesco. Well, he's going to take us all to Italy in a little bit,
Soon.
right? So we're going to take a quick break, right? We're going to take a break. And then when we return, Francesco's going to perform in full force with the accordion. So don't go anywhere.
So I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
And I can't change, even if I try, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Hello, welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight.
13 to 17.
Here now to perform, we welcome Francesco live.
Moon, it's your eye like a big pizza pie. Everybody, that's amore. When the world seems to shine like you and too much wine, that's amore. Bells ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you sing Vida Bella. Hearts we play, tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, nel blu, dipinto di blu. Dimmi quando tu verrai. Dimmi quando, l'anno, il giorno e l'ora in cui forse tu mi bacerai, oi morì, quando suonacci verso per te, mamma dormì, un'altra notte abbracciata con te, oi morì. That's right, you can come to the Feast of St. Anthony from June 13th to the 17th on 187 and Arthur Avenue, right by the Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. And quando suonacci verso per te, fammi dormire, oi morì. It's now or never, come only time. Kiss me, my darling, be mine tonight. Oh sole mio, stai in fronte a te, oi Mari, quando suonacci verso per te, fammi dormire, oi Mari. I have no idea what I did, but I did.
It was amazing. Are you kidding me? You transported us to Italy.
That's right.
And that's what you're going to be doing at the festival, right?
You don't have to get a 747 or whatever airline ticket to go to Italy, but you can come to the Bronx.
Right, Bronx,
so
Little
Arthur
Italy.
Avenue, 187 and Arthur Avenue, Little Italy, in the heart of Little Italy, right by the Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Don't miss the feast. It's going to be good.
Thank you, Francesco.
Good time.
Woo! Francesco live, everyone. Ciao bello. All right, once again, you guys, the St. Anthony Festival is taking place from June 13th through the 17th at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church on 627th East 187th Street. For more information on Francesco and his upcoming events, please visit fcmusic.net. That is our show today, mi gente. Thank you. Yes, mi gente. That's right. Ustedes son mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecasts tonight and 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor.
C'è la luna mezzo mare, mamma mia, mamma ridare. Figlia mia, cosa dare, mamma mia, pensaci tu, let's go. Se ti pigli lo piscinare, isso va, isso bene, sempre lo piscia manatena. Si c'è la fantasia, li pisci della figlia mia. Oi mamma, mi voglio maritare. Oi mamma, pisci tutti lo baccalà. Oi mamma, mi voglio maritare. Ti metto da voglio, da ma voglio maritare.
If you want to stay in the know about the latest happenings en español, check out Diálogo Abierto, BronxNet's own Spanish show, Wednesdays 6:30 p.m. on Channel 67. The latest in news, arts, culture, politics, and what's going on in your neighborhood. Diálogo Abierto, the best way to stay connected in Spanish. See you there. Te esperamos.